Hey there, welcome to this episode. We're going to take a look at calculating BPM, the classic old school way of working with tap tempo, and also just letting the MPC do some of the work for us. This is particularly important. You're recording samples from a bit of vinyl. Maybe you've downloaded a sample pack and you don't just have the BPM information, which happens all the time. I'm going to be using an example of that here. Let's go to Browse. I've got these nice Beat Butcher drums, but he's notorious for not telling us what the BPM is. I don't know why he doesn't, but he doesn't seem to like to put the BPM information in for the drums. Anyway, we've got one here like this. I'm not going to load it to a pad. I'm just simply going to load it into the sample pool so that I can take a look at it inside of the sample editor. If you're unfamiliar with the sample pool, please check out that episode because it explains it in greater detail. But we're going to press load to pool. Let's just choose one first though. I think this one above. Yeah, it's a nice little drum break. I'm loading it to my pool, which means when I'm on my main page and I go to sample edit, that will be loaded and I can see it. The reason I want to put it in here for tap tempo is because I can just press this top right pad and it loops the playback of the sample. If you use one of these others, it's going to play through that sample, but then maybe it'll stop. This top right pad will loop your sample playback. As it starts to loop and play back, I'm just going to tap this in 4 in time to the beat, and it's going to give me some indication of what the BPM is. So let's do it like that. Usually that's about enough. When I go to my main page, you'll see it's changed the BPM of our project. I think it was 80 by default, and it's now worked it out at roughly 66.59. Tap tempo is not known for its accuracy, but it's going to get you in the right ballpark. I could probably round this up to 67 and be relatively close. But the other way that we can do it with the MPC, this is still handy. I do use tap tempo quite often, but when we're back in sample edit, if you've got a keen eye, you're a new user to the MPC, you'll notice it says the BPM there is 132. Now, that's not correct because we know it's slower than that essentially for that loop. And what it's doing there is your classic double or half time error. What you can do is you can double tap on BPM and open it up. And aside from just being able to set this to a value if you like, I can go in here and you can see we can half or we can 2 times. So if we halve it, it's going to take it to 66. And when we did tap tempo before, that's roughly where we thought we were at. So the MPC is calculating, if we just say do it, the MPC is calculating that BPM as you bring the sample in. And to be honest, it's probably spot on. It's 66 BPM. So there's an old school tap tempo way, which is useful. Sometimes I do find that handy. There's just some things that I don't want to rely upon the MPC to find out. And then, of course, the MPC can do some of the hard work for you as well. Take care. I'll see you in the next episode.